Everybody, hope you're doing well. Look on the screen. This is a home of a family. They had the home for nearly almost 20 years. The husband died, and the wife was left to raise children. Left to raise children. Well, let's go ahead and talk about what happened. Sometimes it's the enemy that you don't see, the enemy that's considered family. So, this is a home. Check this out.
Widow says instead of grieving her husband, she's been forced to deal with legal issues regarding her home. She says a company's offer to help ended with her being kicked out of her family home, and now she's losing most of her paycheck. Tonight, WREG Shay Simon shares her heartbreaking story and a warning from the Better Business Bureau.
For nearly 20 years, was filled with love by the Naylor family. Today, we raised our children. We have been married for 28 years. 2 years ago, Marsha's husband.
So hold on. They basically raised a family there, she and her husband.
Married for 28 years. 2 years ago, Marsha's husband died suddenly. That left me sole income to provide for me and the grandbabies. As bills piled up, a family member introduced her to a company that claimed they could help. He would borrow money against my house for me to give me a little wiggle room. Naylor says the help never came. I didn't have to sign anything. What he did ask me to share with him was a copy of the deed of trust to my home. The coming months would be filled with court dates. Judge Alan Couch said those documents, that this quick claim deed that he has in his possession, that he upholds that document and tells me I have to be out of my home, that I've been squatting in my home for I don't know how long. Naylor says she was forced to move out in days and has now had her earnings garnished. In a statement to WREG, the BBB says quit claim deeds are meant to be an easy way to legally transfer home ownership to someone else, but scammers are using them to steal property from the rightful owner. They go on to say one common tactic is someone contacts you and offers to help modify your mortgage and lower your payment. But first, you need to sign a few legal documents. If you do, you may be signing something that transfers the title of your home to the scammer. It's just been very difficult. I'm a school teacher, bus driver, and any other little hustle I could find, try to make ends meet. The BBB says some tips to avoid this are check your property records, monitor your credit, and never transfer ownership of your property to a mortgage assistance company. In Mississippi.
Okay. If you notice, so the husband died, they obviously didn't have life insurance that would basically, pay a lump sum or pay off the mortgage of the home. So obviously they didn't have that. But been in the home for close to 20 years. Your life's work. But notice what she said.
Raised our children. We have been married for 28 years. 2 years ago, Marsha's husband died suddenly. That left me sole income to provide for me and the grandbabies. As bills piled up, a family member introduced her to a company that claimed they could help. He would borrow money against my.
Now, sounds like what she's referring to as a home equity loan, but she said he, which tells me we know he is going to reference a male. Again, is a family member.
Borrow money against my house for me to give me a little. Borrow money against my house. Borrow money. That claimed they could help. He would borrow money against my house for me to give me.
And this was who? A family member.
Introduced her to a company that claimed they could help. He would borrow money against my house for me to give me a little wiggle room. Naylor says the help never came. I didn't have to sign anything.
See, it's issues like this. I've seen something similar. In this community, a man can really do it. Women do things too, both sexes in all communities. But speaking of this community specifically, how do you get a home equity loan? Who's going to come out and look at the property and see what the value is? You don't have to sign any papers. What kind of loan do you get? You don't sign any papers. He basically stole her home, and this is who? A family member.
Borrow money against my house.
So how can he borrow? How can the man borrow money against the house when his name is not on the deed? This reminds me, just like the Patreon video I loaded up about the lady. I told her what she might want to do. I don't want folks in my business, and I'm not saying that that's applicable to her, but it amazes me how sometimes people see a family member and they're in love with them so and have such respect and adoration. The person is hating you. This right here is elderly abuse, in my opinion. How can he borrow money? He can't do anything. You don't sign anything. He probably just wanted to see how the names were listed on the deed, which he could look that up at the county records. So she is probably that's nonsensical. She's probably in a grieving state. 20 years married to a man, she's probably still grieving. And then she wasn't thinking correctly. He might have noticed that. Took advantage of her. What you mean you don't sign any papers? You have to have a contract. Banks don't do verbal, I'm gonna pay you. So he borrowed the money. Oh, is that's what, and you don't have to sign any papers.
Those piled up, a family member introduced her to a company that claimed they could help. He would borrow money against my house for me to give me a little wiggle room. Naylor says the help never came. I didn't have to sign anything.
Oh my God.
What he did ask me to share with him was a copy of the deed of trust.
Why would you show him that? Trusting a family member? Again, it makes no sense. But don't forget, I think the lady was probably still grieving, and that was his opportunity to pounce on her. And see, here's the thing. I'm trying to understand, at what point did you have an attorney? At what point did you call the police to report a theft? They said there were several court dates. I don't understand that. But it's a he in the family. At what point do you call him out? At what point do you call the DA's office to report elderly abuse? What he's doing to you? A handwriting expert? You didn't sign anything? And see, it's things like this here, just like on Patreon. I told old girl what she might want to do. I don't want folks in my business. Oh, okay. Now look, same thing here. Sometimes when you're a female and you try to tell older women something, good luck, but a man can tell them anything. And again, I think he caught her in the grieving process. This doesn't make any sense, but it was a family member. So he got a quick claim deed and goes to court. At what point do you turn him into the authorities? But let me guess, is he his family? We don't want to call the police to put him in jail. That should have been the first move. See, that with the judge, I don't agree, but the judge is not going to act as your lawyer. Where's the handwriting expert to compare it? Did she handle it on her own? You need to be pressing the criminal charges against a relative whose idea this was. Because see, that's what got you to the courthouse. But let me guess, Papa don't want to do that. There aren't any other women sitting with you to go through this, because sometimes when it's things like this, I have seen an older person get robbed of thousands of dollars, and then one family member call the police because they know who did it. Thousands of dollars. One family member called the police. Guess what happened? The police show up. Okay, we want to go to. Now I don't want to press charges. Then what the heck are you hollering for? No one's going to turn around and say, "Oh, well, let's just give you the money back." The person you call the credit card company, they told you what to do to get the charges reversed. So you know who got the card. You know who has the card, who was there last. And a person in and out of your house, they know the PIN number. Now, thousands of dollars is missing. Call the police. I don't want to press charge. Then what do you want to do? So the same thing here. The family member, when did you not want to press charges? Because something is not right. Something just is not right. Don't want to get him in trouble. Again, the reason you're in front of the judge, and there's a lot more to it. The mortgage company, did you contact them, file a complaint? There's so much to do here. But this is what happened when you have people in your family who are scrupulous, who are evil and devious, and they want what you have. That doesn't make any sense. Or he can get a loan. He can't get a loan with anything. His name is not on the deed. I can't get a loan on your house. My name isn't on. I mean, if you want to add, that's fine with me. But seriously, it's things like this here. And I have noticed, it's my experience, when you're trying to talk to people, especially older people, older women, honey, you can't tell them anything. They already know until something happens. The person introducing you to do this, to get the home equity loan or get a loan on the property, what's that person's background? What's their standing? But let me guess, he's family, and it's a he. We don't want to get him in trouble.
Me and the grandbabies. As bills piled up, a family member introduced her to a company that claimed they could help. He would borrow money against my house for me.
He would borrow money against. I wonder if it's her son. She said they raised children, married 28 years. Who's the he? I would put his name out there. So and so, my son, whatever, grandson, nephew, John Doe. He introduced me, but no, we want to protect him. I would have had him out there, so fast. Now the house been transferred. I wonder, was it transferred to his name? Introduced me to a company, and even if it's not, whoever got the home is transferred to. He got some money. Come on. Probably a kickback. He introduced me. This is, to me, it is robbery, elderly abuse.
Introduced her to a company that claimed they could help. He would borrow money against my house for.
How can he borrow money against your house for you? Let me guess, fast talking it. And it maybe once, obviously, a family member that she really reveres and really loves.
As bills piled up, a family member introduced her to a company that claimed they could help. He would borrow money against my house for me.
Wow.
To give me a little wiggle room. Nailer.
And he wiggled her all the way out. And he is the one that set in motion to wiggle her all the way out of her house. When do you want to press charges against him? Again, you can put the judge's name out there all you want to. Who set the motion? I want to know the family member. What's the relation? Is this a son, a grandson, cousin, brother? Who is it? I didn't have to sign any papers. Huh? Man, when y'all bought the house, you had to sign papers. But see, when you hear things like this, sometimes it works out of hand. You try to tell people, they won't listen, won't even check it out. And now look. So this just didn't happen. He showed some papers and that it. They were going to court.
Legal issues regarding her home. She says a company's offer to help ended with her being kicked out of her family home, and now she's losing most of her paycheck. Tonight, WRG
and they're garnishing her check.
Heartbreaking story and a warning from the Better Business Bureau.
For nearly 20 years, this home was filled with love by the Naylor family. Today, it sits empty. We raised our children. We've been married for 28 years. 2 years ago, Marsha's husband died suddenly. That left me sole income to provide for me and the grandbabies. As bills piled up, a family member introduced her to a company that claimed they could help. He would borrow money against my house for me.
And that family member, I bet you he's getting the kickback. I'll bet you he's getting the kickback. So for the elderly, if you have someone in your corner, maybe a loudmouth like myself, that tries to help you, only trying to help you, but I know some of them are men. It's about these men. I'm listening to my son or whoever it is. Again, I would love to know The person that introduced you, what is the relation? Is it your son, your grandson, your brother, your cousin? Who is it? A family member? When members like that for a family, you sure as heck don't need enemies. Introduce her to a company, and now look, and then they're taking a home and her money too. It's a wonder this woman just don't lose it mentally. This is crazy. And she's out taking her grandchildren. Wow. It's a wonder she's this calm. I wonder if she's in shock. But yeah, it's time to call our family members like this here. Call them out. That's who introduced her to the company. He can get a loan equity line. He can get a loan against my house for me. That right there, we're going to stop the brakes. I don't think so. How is that possible? He needs to see my deed. You don't need, no, no, no. This here is elderly abuse. Again, it's time to call out the family members. There's a whole lot. Where's the handwriting expert? You say you didn't sign anything. But let me guess, we're just going to blame it on the company, but we're not going to blame it on the person who introduced you to the company. Got it. This is a wonder she can keep it together. Taking her house? Husband just died? Where is she living with? Let me guess. It wouldn't surprise me she's staying with her daughter. That's who the backup always is. A family member. And they're garnishing her check? This is maddening. Oh my gosh. This is, talk about a nightmare. Just snatch her life. This is crazy. Her home. It had to move out within days. And the family member is the one that introduced her to the company. See, that part. Let me know what you all think about this. Wow. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. I wish her the best, and I'm out.